welcome back. David Schwartz and I will be discussing zero payments. ISO will be the topic of our discussion. Institutions are prepared to play, and we will be talking about some institutional money coming in. Along with Brad Garlinghouse City, banks worldwide, and a lot more, I also hold this $27 trillion. Guys, let's dive right into this video. This is David Schwartz. The world will alter if the cost of payments is eliminated. I'll play this now. That is a given regardless of what that is. The shipping container revolutionized the physical delivery of commodities, changing and initiating globalization. The internet revolutionized the way that information is delivered. However, we are unaware of what the TCP/IP of money is. What is the value of the shipping container? That is unknown to us yet. However, there will be one, that's for sure, and changes will result from that. Additionally, I want to make sure that the size of payments decreases, which is one of the improvements I anticipate and believe is significant. It's likely that many of you here work and receive pay every 2 weeks or twice a month. But why is that? Most likely, you pay your payments once a month. But why is that? Payments are cumbersome and costly. However, if payments were easy and inexpensive, those frequencies might increase. While you're working, money may be beamed at you. To cover the cost of your accommodations, you could send money to your landlord. Now that I realize how stupid those sound, I'll be honest. Indeed they are. If we were discussing email in the late 1990s, for example, and you told me, I probably couldn't have given you the example that are on everyone here, probably has a cell phone, probably has email on it, and probably has hundreds of messages that look nothing like postal mail or the messaging that existed in the late 1990s. I'll tell you, I couldn't have predicted any of that. In 2000, if you had asked me if I thought the internet had adequate bandwidth, I would have said that it did. Well, could I have envisioned on-demand video and Netflix? That is absurd, isn't it? For example, bandwidth is too expensive for that. However, the cost of bandwidth was reduced to nothing by the internet. And the world will alter if the cost of payments is reduced to zero. And I will describe what it entails and some of the ways I believe things will alter. Okay, what are you saying here really quickly? Indeed, there is a business attempting to do zero-cost payments on the XRP ledger. And they will be able to accomplish this by using RLUSD to their advantage, by arbitraging whether it rises or falls, which will allow them to profit from the situation. It seems to be the distinction between the two. I'm not entirely sure how it operates. I'm awaiting additional details on that, and when I do, I want to deliver that to you. Nevertheless, consider those who deliver meals, or those who work 9 to 5 and make ends meet, don't you? You do realize that things are tight. The cost of everything is high. Groceries, perhaps you have children. Additionally, it causes you stress. Would your life change if you could be compensated every single day? Would that make a positive difference in your life? Correct? I believe it would. It would, in my opinion, significantly improve people's quality of life on a daily basis. Because they need the money to buy food for their family, I know people who go to high-interest lending firms and end up stranded there. And one item that, in my opinion, has the potential to drastically alter the world is the ability to be paid every day, and it will be interesting to see if that occurs. Okay, Matthew L.I. and Y state that the Securities and Exchange Commission, Sunshine Act meetings for XRP are scheduled for Thursday, February 27 at 2 p.m. Most of the conversations are around XRP. He then uploaded these 2 items. Now, allow me to introduce the second section. So, I suppose he does mention the SIBO and the X exchange in addition to highlighting XRP here. Guys, there has been a lot of talk on XRP during this meeting. Let's proceed with and obtaining the necessary approval. The case must be dropped by the SEC. Coinbase was the target of their actions. We must work against Ripple. Please let us soar as high as we dang well want. Please pardon the language. There I was starting to get aroused. Okay, look at this video, says Smoke Dog. See these documents for a polite refutation of the assertion that ISO 200.2.2 is unrelated to the XRP. ISO 2 is unrelated to the XRP. Now, I've seen that CryptoErie is sort of correcting some folks on the internet regarding this. Let's just talk about ISO in an open manner. In actuality, ISO 200.2.2 is unrelated to XRP. It is a standard for communicating. All right. In that standard, you will be allowed to use XRP. There are currently a number of distinct standards that banks utilize all over the world. Additionally, there are roughly 3 or 4 large ones. Their goal is to have everyone adhere to the same standards. Thus, there is no misunderstanding. That value is simpler to communicate. Additionally, you might be able to send money with this new value. However, I believe it to be Pega Sotani. That's who this is, I believe. I'll go ahead and bring her up so she can elaborate on this a bit further. Okay, I'm sick, Pega. I adore it right here. If you're using the high care or the system, the standards used in the payment industry nowadays vary, dated from one country to another. Therefore, you follow a different approach if you're utilizing the system or tips in Europe or the US. Furthermore, there is a very limited amount of rich data that can be transferred. You end up with a collection of opaque, unstructured data and closed networks that are unable to communicate with one another. Therefore, ISO 200.2 has a very bad payment experience and requires a lot of user intervention. These issues will be resolved. Thus, a worldwide standard for exchanging financial data is ISO 200.2. Through payment processing and rich data transfer, this facilitates interoperability across many systems. Additionally, because it is open and adaptable, it will promote competition. Since the beginning, Ripple has adhered to ISO 200.2. We've always understood that this is the best course for payments and that everyone would benefit from it, and in that regard we were truly pioneers. In order to influence the future direction of payments, we have also joined the standard body. Returning to your security point, Ripple is steadfast in its commitment to the greatest security, privacy, and safety standards, and the fact that we are SOC 2 certified is evidence of this. For those who are unfamiliar with SOC 2, SOC 2 reports provide a wealth of information on the security capabilities of an organization. As a result, all of their clients and users can trust that service, and everyone utilizing Ripple's solution is aware that we follow the strictest security and privacy guidelines. I want to touch on this really fast, don't you think? Do you mean when it comes to Medico or Ripple? These two businesses offer the best technology available for digital asset infrastructure and crypto infrastructure, right? Ripple uses XRP many different ways and built all of their banking technology around the XRP ledger. Although most payments employ XRP, there are several uses for a Ripple that don't. Additionally, Medico has excellent infrastructure that institutions can use for custody, anything like tokenized value or digital assets of any kind. Therefore, you can be sure that Medico and Ripple are at the top of everyone's list when institutions or central banks choose to collaborate with one of these businesses. And the most crucial thing is to be on a list. At the bat, you have a chance. If you have ever worked in sales or a similar position, you are aware that it is your responsibility to complete a deal with a customer when you have an appointment with them. However, it's quite challenging if you can't even get that customer in front of you.